Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nish, and I'm back again, your finance and real estate consultant. So basically, this time I'm meeting someone overseas. It's not in Australia. This is now in India, and I'm meeting Sandeep Singh right here, who's actually a lawyer both in Australia and India, practicing and also assisting New South Wales Government High Commission in India. That's correct, Sandeepji?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a patent lawyer with the Australian High Commission, and we sort of help them to understand the other side and try and bring the ties from both the countries closer.
Okay, and that's what I learned about you. I'm like, I wanted somebody who I can also, understand. Can I invest from Australia to India, or perhaps India to Australia, where we are trying to help our clients here as well.
Yeah.
Now that was the plan. So let's have a chat. How do you think about going outside and let's have a conversation, because such a beautiful weather.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's actually representing Australia because it's sunny there and it's sunny here, even in the winter side.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I guess you got the weather here.
Right. Sandeep sir, again, so this is going with your format, the rapid fire questions. I've got heaps of questions coming in, but these 7 or 8 ones which I've taken just for a quick answers,
Yep.
Especially for consumers, both sides, right? People who really want to learn. Let me bring you all these major questions that I have, right? So let's begin.
Yeah.
Bilateral trade treaty.
So it's been done in December 2022. In short, it's the tariffs are very high, by India especially. So now the new deal brings it down from tariff disputes. China has currently about 51,000 cases pending related to just property.
Wow.
And as far as Victoria or Pan Australia is concerned, these numbers will be really low and negligible because systems are in place.
Correct. Currency devaluation.
So if you compare Indian rupee to a US dollar,
Yeah.
about 3.8% we lose every year. But with Aussie dollar, it's still rated to about 2.4%, which means that we actually lose less regarding to Australia. So it's easier to buy into Australian dollar than US.
Absolutely. Policy regarding money transfers.
We earlier used to have a TCS of 5%. Now it's 20%. So it's become more difficult to have. So, for example, as we were discussing, in our case, and about for 2 crore rupees, you need to have about 40 odd lakh on top of it, your liquidity. And you choose whether you want to have 40 lakhs with the government and then take a refund after 1 year, or you want to give that as a deposit of 10% and not give anything for the next 4 years.
Correct. And lifestyle comparison. I know this hits the most.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been born here. I've stayed there as well for many years. But I'll have to admit on certain things that with time, air pollution, food adulteration, those things do matter. And I would say lifestyle-wise, Australia,
100%. Property management issues.
we don't have any much of property management professional companies like the JLL, Knight Frank, and CBRE at mid-segment level. We do have an industry level. So big malls, big complexes, they all are there. Big players are there. But like the Ray White or the other, or Gem Reality for that matter, they manage these properties for the very normal investor.
Correct.
And that's absent in India.
And it's actually in a longer scale that people don't even have to visit them.
Oh, absolutely. You will be amazed. It's easier to manage a property in Australia sitting in India as compared to managing a property in India while sitting in India.
Same place, of course. Next one is loan related. Because I know that I can help as much as I can for a non-resident as well, 70%. And a resident would be 98%, right? Getting the loan at that point. But of course, what do you think, from the...
So professionals like yourself have educated me, because I've had a lot of people having issues of getting loans when they're not even on proper visa status is there.
Yeah.
Leave aside somebody who doesn't have any visa status in Australia and able to get a loan from India itself on the Indian document. So as far as the legal side is concerned, there's SEMA Act in India, and that allows you to take foreign loans as far as you're within the FEMA regulation.
Of course, and then following the requirements for the credit policies with the banks, right?
Absolutely.
The last one, of course, NRI litigation, right? Because both sides, you need to be sort of managed by a qualified person.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, of course, you being the person only
which I know that qualify here as well and in Australia. So that way you can handle both the matters. So what is your take on that?
So I'm fortunate that I've got the ability to understand the complex nature of the transactions between the two countries, of course, for my clients, and then give them a wholesome sort of a sort of an advantage to the extent that I understand both sides and I can tell them what's the best way to go forward.
And you, of course, being the most qualified person I know in this industry, right? In this sort of field where both sides, it's not about actually just talking highly. It's more about knowing the actual right, the knowledge of both sides and actually being qualified in both sides. So I definitely recommend Sandeep, in terms of actually having any issues on both sides, or perhaps if you really want to invest, right, in both the countries together, there's no one better than I can sort of, from my personal learning, Sandeep has been a very great guidance for me as well.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Pleasure to have you. And I hope that through your platform, we're able to educate as many people as possible to take the right decisions. And I would say the informed decision at the right time.
Yep. And that's what I believe in. Okay. You can only give so much education. You can
Yep.
only give guidance, of course, on an individual level.
Yep.
But the decision ultimately has to be on
is yours.
Yep. Thank you. And do share this with the people who really want to invest either ways, or perhaps more in Australia as well, and they really want to learn more. We can then guide on the questions they have more according to this.